Welcome back to Couch Talk, everybody. I'm Joe, and today I'm here to talk about the new movie, My Hero Academy: Two Heroes. This is the feature film based off of the very popular, very successful anime series, My Hero Academy. Before I get into this review, I just want to say that I am not the biggest and most diehard anime fan. I got into it more recently because after seeing Ready Player One, I really loved it in the material, and I wanted to seek out that same kind of concept elsewhere. So then I found Sword Art Online, and when my friend that likes anime got wind that I'm watching that, he referred My Hero to me because I'm a huge fan of superheroes, and in between, the Avengers and the Justice League movies, I don't really have anything to watch. And honestly, I think this is better than most of the superhero movies that come out. It's definitely better than the X-Men. There's just something about the show. I don't know if it's like the theme song or just like the pure heart in Midoriya and the amazingness of All Might, but it just feels so incredible to watch it, like every episode. And then you get that famous like Plus Ultra theme song. So some people might take this review with a grain of salt because I don't have a whole lot of knowledge behind anime, but I will say that I loved this movie. I thought it was really good, but it's not without its flaws. So this movie is directed by Kenji Nagasaki. He is the director of the TV show as well, and he also helps write it, so you're getting the same creative talent from the TV show into now. And it's really kind of a movie about evolution. And as much as I praise this movie, it feels more of like a glorified filler episode than like a movie, and by that there's not really a whole lot of character development from your favorite characters. Actually, a lot of the side characters get sidelined to give more of the main characters like Midoriya and All Might a chance to shine, and some of the new characters, David and Melissa, which I'll get into in a second. It just feels like a really long season finale episode, and I feel like the stakes weren't high enough. I feel like there were higher stakes in the show than in the movie, and if they were going to make a movie, it needs to be like all or nothing, everything on the table, like you're saving the world. But it was just like a very small, confined story, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really glad I got to see this on the big screen. It was phenomenal to see that as opposed to my TV, but I just wish there was a little bit more depth to it and a little bit more stake, but it was still a great movie. So this movie, without going into heavy spoilers, I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you know that you get flashbacks of All Might in it. That's kind of in the beginning of the movie. You see him like kicking ass like when he was really young. He has the big blue eyes, and it's before he was like weighed down with all the stress and the constant draining of his power. And it transitions into I didn't see season 3 yet because again I'm a little bit of a fraud. I like to watch this show in the dubbed English version, and season 3 isn't in English yet. But this movie takes place in between seasons 2, which I did see, and season 3. Pretty much after you get that like little flashback of All Might, kicking ass as a young guy, it goes back towards like present day between between seasons 2 and 3, and everyone's going to summer camp. But All Might invites Midoriya to this island called iExpo, which is pretty much Disney World meets Comic-Con. It's this big magical place, and it has like the big Universal like globe in it, but instead of it saying Universal, it says iExpo, and it's really like all these like inventors and stuff showing off their new merchandises and for like all the heroes and everything, and you just get a feel that like they're like walking into Disneyland if there was a Disneyland for just all superheroes. And while they're there, you slowly start to realize that everyone from the class was invited in one way or another, which is a surprise to Midoriya. And while they're all there, they're about to attend a party, and then villains come and hold everyone hostage. And I'm not going to go into any more details, but pretty much Midoriya has to work to save everybody. And he, of course, has the help of all of his friends and All Might. The problem I have with this movie, however, is it's a little predictable. And a lot of the secondary characters get sidelined. Like, everyone's in this movie, and I mean everyone. Like, Todoroki, Bakugo, Yororaka, Ida, Mineta, Kirishima. They also added 2 new characters, David and Melissa, who I can't go into, but they get some of the biggest amounts of screen time and character development, and you understand why at the end. I think the payoff was really good on that aspect, and that was like really well written. But it kind of sucks because they had to sideline all of the original characters I just named to give them the most chance to shine, and they were kind of just there. Like, they have a couple little snippets of like fight montages and little one-liners, but really 90% of this movie is Midoriya and Melissa, the character Melissa. I will say that the beginning of this movie with the flashbacks with All Might is just absolutely magical. The end of this movie, where Midoriya finally faces the villain, is one of the most epic fights he's ever been in, and I really, really enjoyed seeing it on a big screen, which is why I'm getting it so high. And the middle is like all the character development that's in there, but like I said, like all the characters I've grown to love don't get as much time to shine because of these new characters. And it also has to help evolve Midoriya a little bit more before, season 3 and 4 and 5. So I was a little disappointed on that aspect. So I can't get this movie to a perfect 10, obviously, but I will give it an 8. I think it's definitely worth going to see it within the next couple of days. It's not going to be in theaters for that long. I think it's only in theaters until like October 2nd or October 5th. Going to see All Might use his incredible ability, maybe for one of the last times, is definitely worth the price alone. But getting to see him and Midoriya and the whole cast back for an hour and a half just kicking ass, I think is also worth the price. This movie has a lot of heart. It brings back the famous Plus Ultra theme song, which is like my favorite part of the show. I have it as my ringtone now, and I just played it before. And if you're a huge fan of the show, you're gonna like it regardless. So go and check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Do you love this movie? Have you seen it yet? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, I'll catch you next time.